Hi everybody, I'm Giancarlo.
My name's Erica.
And this is our review video of...
Valeria, Card Kingdoms.
That's right. It's like Machikoro on steroids. Not that we advocate drugs. Well, we might, but just not steroids. Take on the role of a duke or duchess and build your kingdom. Card Kingdom. Using workers, buying domains, and of course, slaying monsters. The game here has been set up for a first-time 4-player game. I say this because not all monsters are present here, nor are all of the domains. Also, every citizen, beside the peasant and knight, have an alternative citizen to add to replay value. On top of the monsters, you'll put exhaust cards equal to twice the number of players. All tokens will be in their respective pool, giving 1 magic to each player, 2 money, and leaving the might and victory tokens where they are. Give each player a starting knight and peasant card. You know they are the starting cards as they don't have the icons on top right corner as those in the middle of the table. Deal each player 2 duke cards and they'll choose one, keeping it secret and returning the other to the box. These will all have different endgame bonus victory listed. You may also give each player a player aid. Determine a first player and give her the dice as well as the first player marker. You're ready to build your kingdom. Now each round consists of 4 phases, starting with the roll phase, which is simply having the active player roll her dice. We then move on to the harvest phase. Here all players will look at both individual dice and their total. Should they have a card matching either, they will harvest those resources. The active player will look at the left side of her card to determine what reward she gets and does this for every matching cards and dice, singles and total. So if you roll 2 5s, each peasant card you have activate twice. If you had a 10 card as well, that card would activate also. Now for all other players who are not the active ones, but also have matching cards, they would reap the reward as listed on the right side of their card. Again, following all rules as I stated. Should you, active player or not activate any citizens, you may take any of the 3 resources, money, magic, or might. When done, we move on to the action phase.
Here, the active player will only perform 2 actions, in any order, and may repeat any of them. They may slay a monster, recruit a citizen, build a domain, or gain a resource. Slaying a monster usually requires might and sometimes magic. Though for these monster setup, only might is used. You need to spend might as shown here on the card. When you slay a monster, you immediately get the reward listed here and place it in front of you, as they'll give you victory points at the end of the game as listed here. These piles of monsters consist of minions or beast on top, titans or beast in the middle, and 1 boss at the bottom. Needless to say, they get progressively harder to slay. As another action, a player may choose to recruit a citizen. These, of course, will give you more odds to harvest resource when rolling the dice. All citizens cost money to recruit. The cost is listed here, and will cost 1 extra money for the same citizen you are trying to recruit. For example, recruit an archer costs 4, recruiting a second will cost you 5, and so on. All citizens, besides starting ones, will also come with one of the 4 roles, being worker, soldier, shadow, or holy. These are important to look at for the next possible action a player might choose, buy a domain.
Buying domains doesn't simply cost more money than buying citizens, but also requires certain types of citizens before buying them as listed here. These icons are not only prerequisites to buy them, but also add to your Duke's bonus VP conditions should he have them. We'll get to that later. When a domain is bought, the next one is revealed. Unlike all other cards in the center of the table, the domains under the revealed ones are face down as there are no duplicate domains. Lastly, the active player may simply choose as an action to gain a resource of her choice. When both actions are taken, we move on to the end phase, which is simply to pass the dice to the next player in clockwise order, and a new turn begins.
The game will end in 3 possible ways. Either all the monsters are slain, all domains have been built, or the last exhausted card has been placed due to stack being depleted. When this happens, all players will continue playing until the person to the first player's right completed their turn. This will ensure everybody's had the same number of turns. When that person is done, we go to the scoring. Total VP from monsters, domain built, and victory tokens in your possession. Then flip over your Duke and count the sets required to get those VPs. Remember that domain icons count as well for those sets, and not just citizens. The player with the most is the Card King of Card Kingdoms.
Valeria Card Kingdom is inviting for both gateway gamers and players who are more experienced. Besides the gorgeous artwork that does so much for its appearance, the mechanics are simple enough for anyone and are not at the expense of tactics or strategy, which are plentiful in the game. Components are good, but it's the variety that I'm impressed with, as it becomes a no-brainer that replay value is placed in the pro section. Now, I might be nitpicking here, or might not sure, but we did find that both 7 cards, Rogue and Thief, are a little overpowered. As everyone knows, 7 is the most likely number to get rolled on 2 dice. Sure, you might get the possibility of getting 6 or unders rolled twice, but initially 7 has the most chance. Then why grant so much resource or steal so much from a player with a Rogue or Thief respectively? That pile was the first in every game we played to be exhausted. No reason not to. So I am giving a con point for that aspect. Another balancing issue we had was that the first player does tend to get a slight advantage. She'll buy the citizen cards first, and when everyone else rolls on their turn, she'll have more chances of getting resources. Sure, there's an equal number of turns, but at the end, the last player usually has less choices for purchasing or slaying. Not a huge detriment, so half a point penalty. The other half point penalty comes with the game feeling somewhat solitary. Basically, you're just doing your own thing. A little remedy to this, which we like to play with and add slightly more tactics, was having the dukes revealed at the beginning of the game. Again, this is just our opinion or preferable variant, so half point only. That said, the game moves fairly quickly, and we love how even on other players' turns, you're rooting for them to roll your specific numbers. Fun, light, with some depth, beautiful, and perfect for any range, Valeria Card Kingdom gets a deserving 8 out of 10. Steroids make your testicles really small.
No one wants that, really.
Nobody wants that.
No.
No, guy or girl.
Well, maybe. But most people, I don't know. You don't know?
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
You like weird things sometimes, so.
I do like weird things. Small testicles isn't one of them, though. Oddly enough.
Oddly enough.